Good morning to all of you. Very nice to hear all of you. Today I'm going to talk to you of my journey as a professional pharmacologist. You already heard, and Chaitanya has made my life more miserable by telling many more things. So expectations are going to be very high, but at the same time, in a short time, whatever I have, I would like to talk about how I came up, what I did, and what I'm going to do it. Now, when I look at it, I believe that success is not a destination, it has to be a journey. When you talk about, I have able to give a contribution to the various organizations, and most important, which I want to talk is the NIPER Hyderabad, where I was the founder director in 2006. This is the chronological order of where I have served the organization, but for your information, still I serving the society as well as the science. Now, when I was a child, born in Kanbargi, and my teacher told to my grandfather, "Oh, ಇವನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇಲ್ಲ ದನ ಕೈಲಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ರಿ ಇವಾಗೇನು ಬಾತ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ." I think that was the statement made by my teacher. How disaster, because I was not knowing about it. Grandfather used to tell me all the time. But today I'm so happy that I have changed their mind. And this is the school where I joined, and English started ABCD, and particularly whole study I did in Kannada medium. When first chance was given to me to talk on Vivekananda in English, I was so excited. But you know what happened? It so happened that I started with Vivekananda, I stopped at Vivekananda. That itself indicates that I was mugging up. And the best lesson I learned is mugging is not a learning. And I had a phobia. Everybody has a phobia of different things. But a person like me has a phobia of English. Anybody talking English, I used to be really get scared. And this is the college where I joined, GSS College. Initially, it was so difficult for me to digest what my teachers are saying. They're excellent teachers, there's no question about it. But I was not an excellent student to understand what they're talking about. Then at one stage, I thought, I'll leave this and go away. But at the same time, it so happened, it was very difficult. Then what I thought, best way is to get into the army. So I started looking at NCC, Army Attachment Course. My ambition was to get into the army. But what happened? When I went for short service commission, I think English was a big problem. I was just rejected and see my face. Then I had no other alternate. What alternate I had? I had alternate to finish my graduation so that I can do something. Then I joined KMC Hubli, and here again I have one more shock. When I went for the department after taking admission, the Sangeet Karnataka says, "Parisha kulta yavade vidyarthiyu pass agilla." Nobody has. Can you see my fate at the time? But I determined I am going to do the best. And ultimately, I cleared my MSc pharmacology for the first attempt itself. And then I had to really search for a job, which I was not able to get it, but I had a chance to go for Hex Pharmaceutical Research Center. But there, my mentor gave an excellent suggestion saying that, yes, you have to do a PhD, then come back. I came to Jain Medical College, and you see, in Jain Medical College, we are able to do Dr. D.R. Kulkarni, and just meager amount of 25 rupees, we were able to do a research. And that research gave me an excellent opportunity to present myself at the various platforms. And in Get Married in 77, and Lady Luck has started. And one is Young Scientist Award, second is I secured admission for a PhD. And after this, after my Young Scientist Award, I had to get into PGI in one of the leading medical center in the country today. Then I came to Indian Institute of Chemical Technology after serving 8 years in Jain Medical College. And when I came here, the situation was entirely different because I was the only pharmacologist trying to see that 300 people are around me who are dumping all the things. But I didn't have any chance. Neither I had a room, nor I had an experimental. But what I did, I tried to search for various aspects in Hyderabad, then found out 2 institutes which they helped me, and I carried out the work. And when I went to United States with a lot of aspirations as well as ambition, everything was shuttered because I wanted to do world-shaking research. World-shaking research, it was not that, it was only shaking. Then my boss asked me, oh, you must have spent quite a bit of money. I said, I paid for my decisions. And these are the various areas where I have given my international talks, either a keynote address or presentations. Then I worked in Japan, then worked in USSR, then Professor Klotz in Germany. And the recent one, I think if you're free, you can come and have a look at what great things we have done at Central Research Laboratory, Hyderabad. When you are able to get it, naturally, these are the ones which is about 10,500 square feet. We have equipped with almost all the equipment, and you can just have a look at this one, where you are able to see the seeding lab from the United States. Out of 51 applicants, only one from India was selected, and we got equipment worth about 3 crores, where I presented my things and give a keynote address, particularly for the citizens of USA. Now, first of all, when there's so much was there, I was trying to think whether I'm only meant as a technician to take compounds, show them as good results. No. The reason was entirely different, because my idea is to do a research. And when I want to do research, alone cannot do it. Therefore, I had to have workforce, and for that, I found that I have to get recognized as a guide, and my workforce started coming up. When I got it, I contributed more than 100 projects for a pharma industry. Now, first of all, we have to think whether do you need drugs? Definitely the answer is yes, because there are 30,000 diseases and symptoms, and we have only for 10,000. When the calculation is so much, we require, because the satisfactory treatment is not available. Now, why? There are so many drugs for a single disease. Non-responders, you can just have a look. Asthma, cancer. Cancer, if 10 to 100 is non-responding, what can you expect from the drug? You cannot expect. That's why we'll have to struggle and get the drug discovery. And when you have drug discovery, always we think that it can definitely give you a drug overnight. I think that's a misconception. To get the drug, you see about 10,000 compounds we try. Initially, we go for a chemical, then we come for preclinical, that is the animal studies, then we come for the human studies, clinical, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and then, if you are lucky, you are going to get one compound, and the whole thing has been failed. But at the same time, it takes about 15 to 16 years for one drug come to the market. But what is the expense? It is about $2 billion. Probably you may ask me, why $2 billion? Because more than success, there are more failures. Now, when you want to screen some of these things, we produce the diabetes, arthritis, Alzheimer, autism, all things in animals, it is possible. Therefore, animals are like for you, Google God, animals are God for me. Now, this has strict rules and regulations from Government of India, where the CPCA nominee was Amala Akkineni, she was the actress, and when she used to come to IICT, I used to have such a big crowd to take a selfie with her. This is the animal house, which you can have a look at Belgaum itself. We have constructed, and we're getting various projects. And my own interest was a nanotechnology. When you have nanotechnology, nano is everything. I think the engineers have said, American engineers, that no place has been left without having nanotechnology. Now, see, this is what is the concept. The concept is the old man has to become young man. I think that is the concept of nanotechnology. It is possible. And another thing is, nanotechnology can allow you to live for 150 years. 150 years. So the question comes whether society wants to have it. After 60, you get retired. For what? To relax? No. Age is only an age. I think you would have to really think you can live longer so that you can help the society. Now, whenever you're talking about nanomedicines have come into picture, Dr. Rajshekhar is right here. He's the right man as a physician. He can talk about it. Any treatment, cancer, bone, medical tools, diagnosis, treatment, everything. But I'll be concentrating mainly on 2 areas where I worked, drug delivery as well as the drug development. Now, oral insulin, you know very well that till today, nobody has succeeded in trying to give oral insulin because it has to be given by injection, and many people are really getting scared to take injection twice, thrice, 3 times. It all depends on what is the blood sugar you have. And this is mainly because it's a peptide. When it enters, you have a lot of acidity, it will destroy, so that it will not have any effect. But we have done a lot of work with the Russell Jones, who has been the Vice President for Access Pharmaceuticals at Australia. And he's the man who could help us, and we were able to develop this animal model using vitamin B12 coated with dextran nanoparticles. B12 because it is water soluble. That is the reason it can get into this. It will go, take care of the acid. It will not bother. It will come to the large intestine. In the Pear's patch, it gets into the system, and you are perfectly fine. But the limitation what you have is only animal studies. Therefore, we are still working almost out to about 6 patents, particularly on this, and it has been already assigned to some of the industries. And second area is, I have a great pleasure in working with Dr. Tomalia, who has been the father of Dendrimer in 1980. And he is the man who has been nominated 4 times for the Nobel Prize, but so far he did not get it, but expect he's almost about 82 years. That is a great inspiration for all of us. And here you can see that we are working on the Dendrimers. Dendrimers are a tree-like. You can combine many drugs, make only one, and give it to so that you can be free. Otherwise, you don't have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, like that 10 drugs. And major important is when you are talking the Dendrimers, it can be used in drug delivery, cancer treatment, inflammation, and even you can use in vaccine. And we have been working to see that how this Dendrimer can carry the drug to the lungs so that corona can be taken care. There are many aspects which we have been doing on this thing. And first time we have reported that these Dendrimers, PANMM, is the one which has been having anti-inflammatory activity. And based on that, we are trying to do very things. And one more thing we are talking is glioblastoma. It's a very dangerous. Within 6 weeks, people will die. And we are trying to see that drugs enter through the Dendrimers. Otherwise, there is a tight corner blood-brain barrier which will not allow the drug to go. Therefore, we have made and we have been very successful. I worked on arthritis, psoriasis, diabetes, and we have failed very badly. Herbal or synthetic, we have failed very badly. Now, and this is the industry where I have already taken care, and almost about 100 projects we have already done it. And here you can see the Kalam Raju stunt, which was done where we prepared a cath lab, which is completely sterile, and we have used about 34 rabbits for the experiment, and it was successful. In the front page of Times of India, the IICT has figured. Natural products, there is no exception, because when you take nanoparticles, you can increase the bioavailability. Once you increase the bioavailability, the actions are going to be much, much better. Here, a classical example. This is the common. When nanoparticle that is called as Phytosomes, you are able to see the difference. Now, we have worked on TEDx documents as well as curcumin. TEDx documents, wherever you are seeing, everywhere you can see, it is already called as Ghaimari, which is there. And I have got 3 to 4 patents on this. We have prepared some of the ointment, even the cracked heels, it is working well. We are able to really make the difference, particularly for society and the curcumin also. But today, the current future is obesity. There are so many aspects which you have to always think about, and they don't have anything, but we have been working on obesity, corona, and the aging. These are the 3 areas we are working. And this is another one. If everybody is doing, why not I do it for clinical trials? And it was done in the medical, our civil hospital, and we were restricted only for 12 patients, but the results are so excellent. And this is the one which is already in the market, hepatitis B and C, where they have been able to cure with this particular 4 compounds. They're not only extraction, they can be very easily estimated by HPLC and gravimetric methods, so that you can be scientifically claim that it is going to be one of the best. And surprisingly, our results are so good. You can see the yellow line where patients are getting relieved in such a short time, either RT-PCR tests, then we have done the whole blood, then we have also done D-dimer as a CPP, where from 2,000 D-dimer has come to 130 and 140. You can just imagine. But our luck was so bad that it did not come. But anyway, it is good that people are not suffering. Drug repurposing is another area which I started doing it, because this is an old drug in a new bottle. Now, see, if you want to talk about corona, there have been 6,218 drugs, herbal and non-herbal, have been tried, and success is big 0. There are 7,000 diseases, 400 only have medicines. And if you have complete this, you require 500 years. Are you going to live for 500 years? Not even 50 years. Now, this is another one where how this repurposing is going to be very important. See, this is the drug which was made by Pfizer. They wanted to have for a hypertension. When the trials were on, the results were negative. But at the same time, when they wanted to get back all the samples from the youngsters and the old people, none of them were ready to give. Then they found out, confidentially, what is the reason? See, it was helping the erectile dysfunction. And that is one of the reasons nobody wanted to give. Therefore, this Viagra has one of the greatest inventions as a repurposing of the drug. Then you can see the ophthalmic solution for intraocular tension. They were adding it after 10 days. You see, you cannot get it unless you want to have a wig-like. And this is the side effect of the drug, and they are using it for a cosmetic purpose. That is what the repurposing is, and we have been working on the various drugs. My message to all those who wish to pursue research is to take a plunge and go for it. I think it is, and I'm definitely going to help you all. And do not be excited and do not be overconfident, because this boy has come. He says, sir, I want 1 lakh salary, 1 car, and 1 house. The person, he says, he's very nice. He says, okay, fine, I'll give you 2 lakhs, 2 house, everything. Then immediately says, sir, आप मजाक तो नहीं कर रहे हैं? Then he said, शुरू किसने किया था? So my contribution to these 2 people, he got a 2nd rank under my mentorship for NIPER. And here is the man, Dr. Tomalia, one of my students after PhD. In 1 year, he has gone on outstanding scientist on own visa. And he's getting about $75,000 US. So it is definitely worth to do a research. And every one of us have latent, but we'll have to identify what capacity I have. So probably you may expect Prakash Diwan in the next Jalma, one of these things, because I have killed so many people. And this is my teacher. No, today he's not there. Even Dr. Rajshekhar knows about him. Dr. D.R. Kulkarni, my mentor, at the age of 92, passed away. But his inspiration is a great inspiration for me. And a credit of my success is the hard work of all the students who have got their PhD under my guidance. So I thank the TEDxTilakwadi team. And let's also thank my Lotus County residents, my friends, who have been always encouraging me to do something which really makes me younger and younger. And finally, I want to thank my school friends who have witnessed what I want to talk to you. And I thank every one of you for a patient hearing. Thank you very much.